Buenos días, estudiantes. Hoy es miércoles y vamos a empezar la clase de español. Good morning, guys. Wednesday, we are going to do our video this morning, go over some work that we need to be doing, and hopefully give you guys some time to go over your words and practice a little bit this week. So I want to first go over what I need from you today. So it is actually Wednesday morning when I'm doing this. So I need this morning from everyone. I'm just going to go over what we had last week so that you can make sure to get that into me. So on day 2 in your workbook, there were questions on your list when it showed you what you need to do every week. And on that day 2, you need to send me your answers. So those are written answers that needed to be sent. Your 6 verses that you wrote out, I need you to take a picture of that and send it to me. And then also your 2 workbook pages. Make sure when you send me those 2 workbook pages, they're really clear, because that is for your quiz grade this week. So I need to be able to see all your answers clearly so that I can correct it and give you a grade. So those are the 3 things that I need you to send me today. The other thing that I need today is I've heard from quite a few of you about what your project is going to be, but I need to hear from the rest of you. So if I don't get back or get your stuff from you today, and if I don't get the information about your project, I will try to either send you a message or your parents a message on Facebook, or possibly text you if I can remember whose number goes with who. So that's for week 11, to wrap that up, to be able to grade what's going on there. And then we're going to move on to week 12. So week 12, how this is going to look over the next month basically is we are going to have this class today, and we're going to go over some new material. And then after that, when we meet in 2 weeks, we're still going to have a video, but it's basically going to be a review for our final. So after this week, we won't have any new content, but we will be reviewing for your final. So in order to do that, I am going to go over your vocab from last week again, because I think that that's something you're just going to have to keep practicing. And then I have 2 new pieces of information for the next 2 weeks. So we're going to start there, and then we'll kind of talk through what the rest of our time and what the expectations are and what you guys need to be doing over the next month. So if you have your book, I really want you to get these things out while I'm doing them, because I really need you to be participating. Because in order to be able to get a handle on the verbs and the how to pronounce these things, I'm going to need you to repeat them after me. So today, unlike last week, I'm going to have a pause after each word so that you guys can spend time right after me repeating the words and work on the pronunciation and memorizing those words a little bit better. So I need you to turn to page 21 in your book, your regular book here. And then we're going to go on page 21 with the new vocab from last week. So this is in el centro comercial, which is in a shopping center or mall. The first vocab word that we have is la tienda de ropa, the clothes store. So now after that, I want you to repeat la tienda de ropa. So after each one of these, I want you to be able to repeat that and practice it. So the next is la camisa, the shirt. Los pantalones, the pants. El helado, the ice cream. La zapateria, the shoe store. Los calcetines, the socks. Los zapatos, the shoes. Las botas, the boots. La librería, the bookstore. Los libros, the books. Las revistas, the magazines. El aparcamiento, the parking lot. La heladeria, the ice cream shop. The cafeteria, the coffee shop. El café, the coffee. La tienda de deportes. So I did those in my head so that I knew you guys had enough time to repeat them. You can go back to this point in the video and go over them again each day. I'm going to do these right back to back so that you guys can go over these words together every day so that you have time to be able to do that. Your mandatos are paga, which is pay, vende, which is sell, decidir, decide, and ve, go. So hopefully last week you made your flashcards for these and you have memorized those. We're not really having our quizzes the same way that we normally do, so I know that the motivation always for memorizing them is not quite as strong, but these are all going to be on your final in 2 weeks, so you need to be memorizing them. You need to be going over them every day. So you're going to just flip on to page 23, and we're going to go right into those new verbs that we have. So we're going to have 4 new verbs that we are going to be going over, and one of them we've already went over in the past because it's such an important verb, but we're going to go over it again this time. So the first is pagar, which is to pay for something. Decidir, which is to decide. Vender, which is to sell. And ir, which is to go. So if you guys can remember, and they are not always, they don't put them in here, which I'm not sure why, but we've gone over this a lot this year so that you guys can kind of keep working on those. But with these verbs, remember that we have the yo, tu, el, ella, I'm trying to remember which I have. Yo, tu, el, ella, nosotros, ella, ellas, and ellos, and which one am I forgetting? I should have written them down. I'm going to write them down while I do with these. Because when you're doing these verbs, you need to be thinking, what do I need to put with this? So I'm going to write these in this book as I go, but the first is pagar. So pago is I pay, so it's going to be yo pago, tú pagas, él or ella paga, nosotros pagamos. We do not do the paguis, so we're not going to do that one. And then ellos, ellas pagan. So I want you to write those in your book, the yo, tu, el, ella, nosotros, and ellos, ellas, because I want you to be remembering who these are going to be sent to. So when you're memorizing these, then you're memorizing the articles along with them. Okay, so I'm going to say those one more time, and I want you to repeat after me. I'm going to give you time to do that and say them in my head again. And then I want you to repeat them, and then we're going to go through all 4 verbs, okay? Yo pago, I pay. Tú pagas, you pay. Él, ella paga, he, she, you formal pay. Nosotros pagamos, we pay. Ellos, ellas pagan, they, you pay. We're going to go to vender now, which is to sell. And remember, this is an ER verb. So the AR, ER, IR verbs have the same endings unless it's an irregular verb. These 3, pagar, vender, and decir, are not irregular. So they're going to have your regular endings. If you have your sheet that I gave you quite a while ago with all the endings, that would be a really good thing to take out and kind of review those endings and remind yourself of the AR, IR, ER endings. So, vender. Yo vendo. I sell. Tú vendes. You sell. Él or ella vende. He, she, you formal sell. Nosotros vendemos. We sell. Ellos or ellas venden. They sell. You all sell. Okay. Now, decir. Decido, I sell. Yo decido, I sell. Tú decides, you. Wow, guys, we're going to start this one over. I'm getting on the sell stuff. Okay, decide. So, yo decido, I decide. Tú decides, you decide. Él or ella decide, he, she, you formal decide. Nosotros decidimos, we decide. And ellos, ellas deciden, they or you all decide. And we are on to the IR verb, which means to go. And remember, that one is not going to be conjugated the same way. It's an irregular verb, and you're just going to have to memorize it. So, yo voy, I go. Tú vas, you go. Él or ella va, he, she, you formal go. Nosotros vamos, we go. And ellos or ellas van, they or you all go. And the other thing to remember with the IR verb, we've talked about this a couple of times, and I'm going to write this on the back of the sheet so that you guys can see it. But with the IR verb, we use this a lot when we take the IR verb with another verb. So, for example, voy is I go. Voy a ir. We'll just even do it with that. Voy a ir is going to be, oh, I think it's backwards on you guys. Okay, we're just going to have to do it verbally. Voy a ir, which will mean I am going to go. If you wanted to even use one of our new ones, pay, then you could say voy a pagar. I am going to pay. So you're going to use the infinitive form of the second verse, pagar, which is with the AR ending in any verb, AR, ER, or IR ending, and then you're going to put that after the ER form with A. Or you're going to say, they are paying, ellos van a pagar. So the pagar doesn't change. Your ER form of the verb does change, but the pagar doesn't change. So, voy a pagar, vas a pagar, van a pagar, vamos a pagar. All of those will stay the same. And you can do that with any verb. You know, we've had, I'm trying to think of some of our other verbs that we've done this year, like jump. We had saltar. So, voy a saltar, I'm going to jump. Run, we have run, correr. Voy a correr, I'm going to run. Ellos van a jugar, they are going to play. Like if you were going to play basketball, you would say, oh, vamos a jugar basketball hoy. We're going to play basketball today. Vamos a jugar. So you take any of these verbs that we've used and you can add them to the ER verb, the IR verb, to be able to make the longer sentence. So voy a, with the infinitive of another verb, that's how you use that to be able to say I am going to whatever other verb you're going to use. So remember that when you're using ir, which is to go. So those are those. I'm going to run through those very quickly, and you guys, and I'm going to pause after each verb so that if you just want to practice running through those verbs, you can do that. So it's yo pago, tú pagas, él, ella paga, Nosotros pagamos. Ellos, ellas pagan. Now you run through those. Okay, vender. Yo vendo, tú vendes, él vende, nosotros vendemos, ellos or ellas venden. Your turn. Okay, decir. Yo decido, tú decides, él, ella decide, nosotros decimos, y ellos o ellas deciden. Okay, last one. Yo voy, tú vas, él, ella va, nosotros vamos, y ellos, ellas van. Finish up with those. Okay. I know that might feel a little silly to be doing out loud by yourself, but you can put your headphones on while you're listening. But just make sure that you're repeating after this, because obviously I don't know who's doing that or not, but it's important for you to do that to be able to practice saying it out loud. And part of that is because part of your homework this week is going to be sending me part of your homework by video. If I have to be on the video doing this with you guys, I want a video of you guys doing your work. So this will give you a chance to really practice some of your vocabulary and do this assignment with doing it verbally. So we aren't doing quite to homework, but I am going to tell you on day 3, you have to work with page 24 on your in your book. And so instead of just doing the written work, I'm going to have you do this verbally with me. But I'm going to say it first for you, because I think sometimes it's hard to know how to pronounce things. And if you're going to have to do that and pronounce it to me, I want to make sure you know how to do that, and if you need to listen to it a few times before you do the assignment. So on page 24 in your book, it says, listen to these sentences as you read along. Point to what you think each sentence means in English. So what you're going to do is you can listen to me do them as many times as you want this week, but then by next week I would like you to read through them to me and then tell me what your answer is for each sentence. So I will go through those and then we'll explain a little bit. I'll re-explain it in case anyone is confused about that. So go to page 24 so you can follow along. And I'm going to read the sentences that are on page 24 to you, and then you can practice those if you'd like. So the first is, pago en la librería. Vendo los zapatos. Decido en las botas. Voy a la zapatería. Pagamos en la caja. Vendemos los libros. Decidimos en la camisa. Vamos a la heladería. Make sure you're repeating after me even while we're practicing right now. Pagas el suéter. Vendes los calcetines. Decides en los pantalones. Va a la tienda de ropa. Sorry, that was wrong. Vas a la tienda de ropa. Now, instead of using the Spanish Spain form, we're just going to do an AN ending on the next one. So, pagan las revistas. And again with this one, we're going to just switch it to an AN ending since it's both you all. So, venden los zapatos. And again, we're going to do it with all these, all AN endings. Deciden en el helado. Van a la cafetería. Next one, next section. Paga en la tienda de ropa. Vende en la librería. Decide pagar. Va a la tienda de deportes. And pagan la cometa. Venden el helado. Deciden comprar la fruta. Van a la librería. Okay, so hopefully you repeat it after me after each word or after each phrase. When you send this to me for your homework on day 3, what you're going to need to do is this. So you're going to say, pago en la librería. And then you're going to tell me what that means on the other side. Does it mean we pay in the bookstore or I pay in the bookstore? So you're going to underline that beforehand so you're ready, and then you're going to read your answer to me. So you're going to do it in Spanish, and I will tell you the first one. So the first one is pago en la librería, and it's I pay in the bookstore. So that's what you're going to do. Pago en la librería, and then you're going to say I pay in the bookstore, and then go on to your next one. Vendo los zapatos. So this can be sent to me before our class in 2 weeks. So that is something that will help you work on your pronunciation. This includes words from before, like caja, cometa. So it's using vocabulary from our whole year. And it's helping you conjugate these verbs that you need to be conjugating, and also just working on speaking, which when we don't have class, that's a big drawback, is that you guys aren't speaking as much. So I need you to do that. I need you to send it to me. This is a big part of your homework grade this next 2 weeks. So let me see here. So those are the 3 things that you can be listening to. We did the new vocabulary on page 21. We did the new verbs on 23, and then the phrases and sentences on 24. So that section of the video you can come back to and can keep on listening to as much as you need to. And I recommend doing it every other day just to get those verbs and that information in your head, especially if you don't have the audio, which is why I'm doing this now. And I think if we have the audio problem that a lot of people do, you're not going to be practicing. One thing, if you guys have a section that if your audio is not working, or if you haven't been able to figure out, but you really need audio for, say, the mandatos or the common words and phrases, I'm happy to just read through those and send those via text or anything like that, if that would be helpful for you guys to be reviewing those words and things for the final by listening. So you need to let me know, and I can do a quick video to do that as well. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about what your homework is this week, and then about your projects. So this is week 12, and you're going to go to your workbook pages that are for week 12. So this page is what I'm talking about here. You guys all have it either in your workbook or in your printed pages. In your workbook, it's page 93 for those who use the workbook. So we have your day 1. You're going to be saying your conjugation. So that's going, it says top down. It's saying like voy, vas, va, vamos, van. You're going to go down through your verbs and just practice those. You need to listen to your page 23 with audio, so either do that with my video or with your audio and your verbs, and make flashcards for any common phrases and words that you haven't done so far. I'm not giving you new common words and phrases, but you should be reviewing those all the time, because those are still going to be a part of your final, and it's something that you have to be reviewing to remember. For day 2, it says review your flashcards from yesterday, put them in groups, look at the patterns, do your worksheet. There's only one worksheet this week, and so because of that, and because we have these 2-week time frames, I always try to give you a few extra things that you're going to do. So this week, your week 12, every day of the week is actually really light, this 2-week time frame. So for your first week of homework, so starting from today until next Wednesday, which I'm trying to remember what the date is of that. I'm not sure. Maybe I wrote it down. Yes, the 8th. So Wednesday the 8th, I would like you to type a review sheet for your entire school year as a review for your final. So what needs to be included in that is all your vocab and words. That's all of our vocab sheets that we've had, all the verbs that we've learned this year. Those need to be included on the review sheet. Your verb endings, we did a sheet with that. I don't know how you want to include that or incorporate that. That's really up to you, how creative you want to be with your review sheet. You need your common words and phrases, your mandatos. Towards the front of the book, the colors, numbers, months, days of the week that we've learned, and you need to make sure you put in the Christian words that we went over as well. So this review sheet and how thorough you are on it and how well done it is what's going to count for your test grade for this week. This needs to be handed in to me by the 8th, which means you have your first week to work on your review sheet and hand it in on the 8th. Because I'm going to look through all of those, grade them as your grade for your test for the week. But then I'm also probably going to use one of them or maybe sections from different people's as your review for the test. So, and I'll probably add some more things into that as well, but I feel like that's a good way for you to be reviewing and for me to be seeing that you're practicing and not just waiting till the day before. So you need to email that to me though. So I'm going to put my email on the text so that you have that, and also on Facebook for parents. But I need the actual sheet so that I can grade it and look at it, and then you can print it off and be studying from it as well. So that's the review sheet that you need to have in by the 8th. So the first week you'll be working on that and your verses. So I want you to do the same thing this week, at least 3 times write your verse the first week, 3 times the second week. You, as part of your final, you are going to write out your verse. So you need to be able to do that obviously without looking, so you need to be memorizing that. And I would like you to say it out loud, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have you videotape the verse or not. But for sure it's going to be written on your final. So 3 times each week, 6 total to be turned in. So the second week you're going to, we talked about the day 1, day 2, the day 3 is, it says do your new verbs on 24 with the audio, and then it says play a 25 square bingo. That's up to you. You can do that if you would like to for extra, but what I would like you to do for handing in is what I talked about, is it says do your audio on 24. Well, that page 24 is where we went over all of the sayings and statements, and then the answer. That's what I want you to record and send to me for your homework that day. So that needs to be done. You can do that anytime in the next 2 weeks, but it needs to be into me before class on Wednesday. So that's the page 24, that's day 3. Day 4 is to go over your flashcards and then do a conversation activity, which again is up to you. But what I would like you to do that day is to write your new verbs twice each. So the vendar, pagar, decidir, and ir. I want you to write those verbs out at least 2 times just to get those practiced and in your mind. So that would be on your day 4 time frame, because there's not a whole lot that you even have to do that day. So I want you to make sure that you're writing out those verbs. So I need a couple of things. I need your parents' email, and I'll probably try to put that on the Facebook page for them so that I can email your final to them in 2 weeks. And then also, I would like you to email me your review. So I'll give both of those to you guys on the page so that you can have those. So I don't know if there will be any questions from you guys. You can email me, you can text me, you can Facebook message me if you have questions, or if you're having a hard time with one of your assignments, you can call me. I know people don't like to do that, but you can call me, and I can walk through you with it or talk you through something that you're confused about or it's something that's not working. And yeah, I think that kind of wraps up what we need. So just overall this week, the next 2 weeks are kind of like a normal week that we have. We're doing this week 12. You're doing your review sheet. After this week, next week's video will basically be going over all the things that we need to be remembering and reviewing for the test. So we will do that over the video, and it'll probably be shorter than this one just because we're just going to review words and phrases and things that you need to know, and go over the sheet that hopefully I'll send out to all of you that includes everything that you need on the test. So that is going to be in 2 weeks. I think that's the 16th. And then you will have from the 16th to the 29th, so 2 more weeks, to finish your final, which I'll probably have you do in a week because you don't really need a whole lot of time to do that. Just probably 25 minutes. And then your projects you have until the 29th to hand in to me. So we should be completely wrapped up by the 29th, and you guys will be able to get your grade after I get all that in. So lastly, your projects. So from everyone that I've heard of or heard from so far, I've had 2 projects that people have picked, which are the children's book project and just doing the game on their own. I was really hoping someone was going to get their mad technology skills and do some kind of commercial, but I have not heard anyone wanting to do that. So maybe someone out there still does, because you guys a few of you have to get that into me yet. But I'm going to quickly go over this, and then I will also take a picture of this and send it or email it to you. If you guys give me your email, then I can email you the whole page and you can print it off. Otherwise, I'll take a picture of it as well, so you have that. The children's book project, here is the information that needs to be included with that and how it's going to be graded. So this is a book that needs to be at least 12 to 15 pages. Each page must include at least 3 to 5 sentences per page. Only use words that we have learned this year unless it's approved by me. So if you have like a sentence you really want to include to make your story make sense, you can text me about that, but I don't want you Google translating or using words that we haven't used. This is like a review of the work we've done this year. So that's going to count against you unless it's been approved by me. Each page should include an illustration, and this can be your drawings, it can be magazine pictures, it can be actual photographs, graphic art. You can do the whole book online if you want to, and then print it off. I don't know. There's a lot of creative things out there that I don't even know about, so if you have some different ideas, great. There has to be an illustrated cover with an original title, and this is not part of your 12 to 15 pages. The cover is not. So, but that has to be a part of it. No dictionaries or translators can be used, like Google Translate. I would like you to email me a copy of your sentences that you're going to use if you want me to proof them for you beforehand. Otherwise, you're just going to have to see how it goes. But you're welcome to do that. This project is worth 100 points. You will be graded on meeting the requirements listed above, grammar usage, creativity and apparent effort, and neatness. So this is the suggestions for creativity and apparent effort so that you kind of know what that means. 1, you can come up with an original presentation of your story. So maybe it's not like a typical children's book. Maybe you have a different way of doing that, or a creative way of putting that. You can use interesting fonts or writing in the text. You can decorate the cover and the back in an interesting way. You can use colored or different paper to coordinate the font color. You can include extra sentences using more of our grammar if you want to have an increase in that section, the effort and creativity. To submit this project, you need to send a video of you reading the book and showing the pictures as you read. Along with the video, please take pictures of your pages and illustrations. You may also mail me your book if you would rather do that, so that you don't have to take pictures and send them to me. That's up to you. So you can either mail the book or you can take the pictures. But either way, you need to send a video of you reading the book. And just try to get that book in the mail before our due date, because I really want this wrapped up right after the 29th. Late projects will lose 10 points for every day it's late. Projects turned in after class on the 29th, which we're not actually having class, but after the 29th will be late. So they have to be turned in by the 29th, or you lose 10 points each day after that. Okay, the other one is the board game. I had all these sheets out for everyone, but I'm not sure who ended up with them in your group. So if you decide to do this and you don't have these sheets, I can email all of them to you. But I am going to quickly go over it just so that everyone's on the same page. So basically you need to make a board game. There has to be a start and a finish, which is empiezo and fin box connected by 25 spaces. Be creative with your board. Make up a name for your game. Make up 50 questions that relate to any vocabulary or grammar you have learned. Write a rough draft first. Make your answer key. Write out all your questions with answers or possible answers and write an answer key at the top. Glue this to a piece of construction paper to make it sturdier. Make up and write the rules for the game. Be creative. Think about what is the object of the game. What equipment will be necessary to play. Dice, cards, board game. How do you set up the game? So I'm not going to read all of these. These are things you can read through if you're doing this. Create a final draft of your board, create your question cards, and make pieces or anything else you need. And then play your game through. I want you to make sure you do that. You can get some siblings or a parent, but you need to play it through before you hand it in so that you know that everything works the way that it's supposed to. There is a grading rubric that I will be sending to you as well if you don't already have it. And I already gave this to everybody for their groups, but I think this is important. This kind of goes through what each section, the expectations, and then what points you'll get deciding on what you're doing. So for example, the playing cards is one section, and to get 10 points, because this is worth 70 points and there's 7 sections. So if you get your full 10 points on this section, you have to have at least 50 thoughtful question cards that are neatly written. All cards are clearly related to Spanish 1. That's our class. But 8 points is 45 to 49 playing cards are neatly written, all and relevant to Spanish. Then 40 to 44 and less than 40. So if you decide, whatever you decide to do, that's going to reflect on the points that you get. Again, with the spaces, if you do 25 spaces or less than 25 spaces, that's going to reflect on the points that you get for each category. So that can be sent to you so you know exactly what you need to do. I know quite a few of you have picked this one, so I just want to make sure that you have this when you're finishing up what you're doing. So those are our projects. If someone wants to do either of the other two, just let me know today what one you're planning on doing. So I think that is it for this week. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know this is a crazy, crazy time, and I'm sure all of you are getting a little stir crazy, but we're going to make it through. And we're going to finish this year strong. I know that you guys have learned a lot, and I feel like we can finish this out well so that you guys can all count this for credit for Spanish this year. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we will meet again in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys.